We are the voice in DC. When you actually are able to affect the outcome of sometimes major legislation, you find that those 2 days are well worth the investment.
My name is Dean Yancey. I'm the owner of Yancey Auto Parts in Perry, Missouri. My dad and I actually started the business as a body shop. Over the years, it's evolved into what it is today. Well, being part of the ARA is a must for a recycler, in my opinion, today. It has so many values that goes along with it. The ARA is full of honest and wonderful people. Most everybody in our business will be there to help you with anything. I mean, all you have to do is ask. We're not here really to hide secrets. We're here to share secrets. You can learn a great deal from your competitors. This old dog's learned a lot of new tricks. If your yard is not a car certified yard, I would definitely encourage you to be, because sooner or later someone's going to knock on your door. You really need to be prepared when that happens. When we have someone come to inspect us, we're an open door. We know we don't have anything to worry about. We're actually excited to show them around. The ARA is continuously working on governmental affairs. There's so many recyclers that may not understand. They're working on our behalf, everyone's behalf that is a auto recycler. Take, for instance, Oregon Bill 256. We wouldn't have been able to buy cars with deployed airbags. 30 to 40% of the cars in an auction had deployed airbags, and they would have took that out of the market. I can't stress it enough. Always be an ARA member. It's the #1 thing to being a successful recycler.
ARA serves almost as a clearinghouse to bring the industry together and use the industry and encourage the industry to get out there, create those relationships with your legislators at a local, state, and federal level. And we've been able to do so successfully.
My name is Jason Howell. I am the general manager at All Import Auto Parts in Fort Worth, Texas. As a company, we've been part of ARA for 20 years. The quality of people and companies you find in ARA are some of the best. There's no selfishness here. It's people constantly helping others and wanting others to be successful. We are very competitive. Everybody wants to do, the most sales. Everybody wants to dismantle the most cars, but everybody wants to beat you and be the best when everybody else is the best. Nobody wants to be the best of the worst. When you first come to ARA, you come in shaking hands, and when you say goodbye to everybody, you're hugging. That's just how much of a family it is. You get to talk to people, and nobody really holds anything back as far as what's working for them and what's really good for business. The car certification is extremely important, and the people that have those are the yards that are doing everything right on the back end. It holds us all to a standard in making sure that we are truly professional. Our business without ARA would not be nearly as successful. The ARA brings new things to light, Even on the federal level, they are going and pushing for us. It's a great partner to have in your corner. And the fact that they do spend the time to work with the legislators to make sure that we can all conduct business in the way we need to and what we feel is the professional level. I know that they're advocating for us and fighting for the best interests in our industry. If the laws don't allow for that business to be there, then you don't have a business to begin with. So the advocacy part is absolutely one of the most important things that ARA does for us. You need to join ARA. Most of the highest successful yards in our industry are members of ARA, and there's a reason for that. It's because of the information they get when they come to ARA and the vendors they get to deal with, the partners they get to trade with. That's what makes them so great. The amount of resources and information and knowledge you gain out of it, there's no price tag on that.
There's hundreds of bills that come out that are trying to restrict your business, and we're one of the sole voices that are looking out for you. You need to support ARA's advocacy work, if for no other reason, just to keep your business going.
Hi, everybody, and my name is Vince Edevan. I'm the Executive Director of ARA, and I want to welcome you to our first industry update of 2025. And what we're going to do here is we're going to hear from almost all of our committee chairs. We believe deeply that the work that the committees do is the lifeblood of ARA. So get ready. You can ask questions anytime you like through the chat on whichever platform you're watching. And we're not going to delay. We're going to start right off. I'm going to bring up Eric Wilbert, who is our president. So I'll bring Eric up. Eric, how are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Great. So you want to go ahead and jump right in and give us a brief, an update on what's going on with ARA from the executive committee perspective.
Yeah, of course. As always, we've been an extremely busy team and very cohesive team, which it's been great to have. Our addition, the newest member, would be Tom Andrade, who's our incoming secretary. We've got right above him Sean Kraus from Speedway, Shannon Nordstrom, and Nick Dario as well. So since convention, we've continued with the trend. We meet on a every 2 weeks basis, and we do and continue to have an in-person meeting, which we call our winter meeting. We had that in early January, and it's just a great opportunity, almost a 2-day event. For us to just get in person, shove ourselves into a room, and talk about our goals and our objectives as a committee and as an association. So,
Eric, what were some of the things that were talked about when we were together for that winter meeting?
Yeah, a lot of our time, we'll say, was consumed on reviewing our strategic plan. So every 3 years, we go through a strategic planning session, which we bring in board members, the executive committee, and also, we'll say, industry titans as well that we feel would be a great, we'll say, advocate and we'll say thought leader. But that was 2 years ago, and just reviewing, we'll say, the advocacy goals that we set for ourselves, going into branding and awareness, and then education, certification, compliance, just benchmarking what our goals were, where we are at currently, and where we hope to be when those 3 years commence.
Awesome. So you are, you're halfway through your presidency just about, and then you will serve 1 more year as the immediate past president, like Nick Dario is currently. And so just briefly tell us how your experience has been. What has it been like for people out there watching who wonder what it's like to be on the executive committee? What's it been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity. This year requires a little bit more time commitment, but not a ton, we'll say. Honestly, the 5-member executive committee, it is just one heck of a cohesive team that is dedicated to this industry, and dedicated, obviously, volunteering your time, precious time. All of us are running businesses, and in some cases multiple, but we are here for you, for our members, and for the greater good of our industry.
Very good. Cool. Being involved in the projects, like we're getting ready to listen to several of our committee chairs talk about all the different projects the executive committee is invited to and oftentimes participates in every committee meeting. So before we get started into the committee chairs, and without stealing too much thunder, to give us a high level overview of some of the projects that you're super excited about.
Yeah. Boy, there's a ton. The awareness committee is assisting, we'll say, marketing and promoting just the awareness of so many great opportunities. First and foremost, we're going through a massive redesign of our website, which is extremely exciting, and we'll say actively involved in. The Interchange committee, working on improving eBay fitment, continuing just to promote updates, that are brought to us, to the committee by the users of these yard management systems, and improving those is just phenomenal. Certification, we've got great participation right now. We've entered, our new calendar year, and had an audit year last year. But the tremendous opportunity is working cohesively with another industry vendors to provide another tier to our certification program. Government affairs, Hill Days. We're extremely optimistic to have a great audience there, and I think Slater will have a better update there, which is coming up in April. And already we've had quite an active session and actively testifying and active in many states on multiple bills. And it just keeps going. ARTI, we've got a training module that we're just about to release, and have another one in queue to push out to the ARA University and for our membership to utilize. So I don't want to steal any thunder, but we'll say quick high level of many things that our team's working on. So thank you to all of our committee chairs, all of our committee members. It's just a selfless job that's 100% volunteer, and we are incredibly grateful as an executive committee for all the time and energy that the chairs put in as well, and their members.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I appreciate the update. If there's anything else, otherwise, we're gonna move on. We want to keep this moving. So, do you have anything else, or are we good?
No. I've said enough. Thanks, Vince.
All right. Very good. So, next up, I want to bring up our chairperson of our convention planning. Many of you recognize Natalie Miller, and she's joining us today. And she's going to talk about what's going on within the convention planning committee. So I'm going to turn it over to her, Natalie. Oops, wrong person.
There we go. Hello, Vince. Thanks for having me as well. So
absolutely
happy to be here and share what's going on. That's exciting. So as of right now, we're really getting in and kicking into full gear with all our planning. A couple years ago, we split the committee into two subcommittees. One that can really focus on the educational aspect of the convention, and the other one, the events aspect. So it's been really successful that way. We found that we've got some really good results on both aspects. So right now we're planning, as you just brought up, the 2025 annual convention in Birmingham, Alabama, October 15th to 18th. We're all very excited about this. As far as the event side, we're just starting to work on those details. We definitely have the theme that you can see there, Game On and Winning Together. So we're looking forward to finding some nice events that will combine in with all of our themes, the theme that we've chosen. On the educational side, this Friday, February 28th, is the final day for submissions for the call for presentations. So we've received an overwhelming number of submissions thus far. And we know that there are some more that we are waiting to come in. But for anyone out there, if you want to do a call for presentation, please do your best, get it into us by Friday, or at least let us know that we can be expecting it. We will be starting, in the next week or two to really evaluate those and start to put the sessions on the agendas. The events, the events committee, like I said, they're doing some of it. They're going to start working on the Friday night's award dinner. That's always the big event. We also start to look at, what we're going to do for opening and closing events. So any feedback, any suggestions that anyone has, please always feel free to share. There's another small group of the committee that's also working on future conventions. So this year we have a new convention planner, Jennifer Beam Johnson. So it's been great to work with her a little bit so far. And certainly we look forward to planning our 2026, 27, and 28 conventions, which are all in the works right now. And certainly once those details are out, they will get released to everyone. So
yeah, it's exciting. I'm involved in that as well. And we just had a call a few days ago discussing the opportunities and some great cities around the U.S. that we're looking to bring our convention to in the following years. So we're excited we're almost to the point where we'll be able to release that information, but I think we're really excited about the work that's going on there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited about the locations and the cities that we're looking at going to. It's going to be some great places.
Even some of the things you mentioned about Birmingham, like we've got some great entertainment planned, and some really what we're doing with the sessions. Everybody loves the the Interchange Jeopardy. So we're hoping to, not that that's the most important thing that happens during, but it certainly is enjoyable and people seem to love it. So we want to make sure that that's there, along with a lot of great sessions, right?
Absolutely. And the educational sessions and the tech talks, I think last year we nailed it really well. We'll continue to do a format similar where we have the tech talks throughout. That was something that I think was quite successful last year in Reno.
Absolutely. So outside of what's going on with the Convention Planning Committee, I know that ARA has a show coming up. Do you want to mention that?
We do, yeah. The Ontario Auto Recyclers show is March 27th to 29th in Niagara Falls, Canada. So we're definitely excited about that. Definitely being on the Canadian side of the border, we're very excited about that. We certainly have a few of our American colleagues coming up, and we're very excited about them joining us. ARA is generally a very well attended and very well received event. This year is going to be extra special in that Steve Fletcher, our executive director, is retiring. So a little event planned for him, along with a few yard tours, one at Thorold Auto Recycling. It's about 20 minutes from my facility. And then we have a yard tour at our facility as well. So we are all very excited about that coming up at the end of March.
Great. If anybody is interested in the activities, I just want to put this out there. If anybody watching this is interested in any of these committees, you should just reach out to us at staff@a-r-a.org, and we can have a conversation about which committee you're interested in. And sometimes there are open spots, and we would really enjoy the additions. And sometimes we kind of wait list people because we have a very busy or very filled out, full committee. But either way, we would love to hear from you if you're interested. So Natalie, do you have anything else for us?
Nope, that's all, Vince. Just if anyone, the only thing I'd say is if anyone has any call for presentations, they want to make a submission, please try to get that in, as soon as possible, so we can certainly get that included. Aside from that, just wait to see all the content coming out and mark those dates on your calendar.
Awesome.
For October 15th to 18th in Birmingham.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So now I'm going to bring up Slater, who's our chairperson of our Government Affairs Committee. And Slater's going to give us an update on what's been going on there.
Thanks, Vince. Thanks for having us. Thanks for putting this together. We've got a lot going on in government affairs right now. Primarily, most of the conversations are happening around high voltage batteries for electric vehicles. There's a lot about what's called EPR, which is an acronym you're going to hear a lot lately if you haven't already, Extended Producer Responsibility. So these questions become who's responsible for taking the battery, who's responsible for getting rid of the battery, who's responsible for various steps along the way. And there are bills kind of all over the place right now. We're in the middle of 6 states that have very similar language. We think kind of a national model is fleshing itself out. There's an environmental group called Western Resources Advocates. They brought together a lot of different people, a lot of different industries, put together model legislation that they've been promoting in various states. And right now there are that language is in Washington State, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, Florida, and they just reintroduced it in California. We're actively involved in all of this because everything kind of falls together, and there are really big issues at stake in terms of who can buy cars, who can process cars, what can you do with cars. So. Yeah.
Well, Slater, what would you say? I think government affairs is it's one of those topics and areas that can seem intimidating for people. I know. I mean, I've been with ARA for 5 years. I have a lot more exposure to it now than I used to. And what would you say to the people who are watching who kind of keep an arm's distance because they're unsure of getting involved with government affairs or attending our federal Hill Days or maybe their local Hill Days? What would you encourage those people with?
Well, the first thing I would tell you at the state level, because most battles happen at the state level, is if your state affiliate has a local government Hill Days go in there and get the issue briefs, because they're going to hand you all of that information. If you're coming to Hill Days, which by the way, we're at capacity, which is a pretty awesome problem to have. We're spending the first day training you so that you know what to talk about. You have the talking points. You understand everything, all of the issues before you walk in and talk to a legislator or a staff member. So we want to take the stress level of this down several notches and make sure that this is as easy as possible for you to do. And I think the feedback that we got last year was that training really made a difference in terms of how people were able to approach the meetings that came afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you would want to want people to know about what's going on within the Government Affairs Committee before we move on? I appreciate your time.
I think we'll be pushing out our asks right now. Government Affairs has a meeting in a couple days, actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. So we'll be talking about the various issues here. We've pared this down to about 4 things that we're going to be taking in.
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Have you heard of the Repair Act? It was on our list last year, but now there's the Repair Act and the Safe Repair Act. So there's this, and we're back to dealing with catalytic converters. And what we really want to try and focus on is to find some ways to get some funding for training and workforce development. It's something that several different groups have been working on, not just government affairs. And so we're hoping to take all of those pieces and push them together into an ask maybe for a legislator.
Yeah, very good. So I know that ARTI is currently working on something that is in line with that funding, and so I'm going to bring up Jono next. And Jono is the president of the Automotive Recyclers Training Institute. Slater, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving us an update. I'm going to bring up Jono. Here he is. Jonathan, president of the Automotive Recyclers Training Institute. Jono, thank you very much for making time, and the floor is yours, sir.
The floor is mine. Well, I appreciate you just giving an opportunity for everybody out there listening or who will listen in the future just to kind of hear what's going on at ARA and in the committees and whatnot. So in 2021, ARTI, if you're not familiar, was founded. It was kind of set up with a purpose to do the most up-to-date training and education that's available to the recyclers, every professional recycler in the industry. And one of the main ways we did that was prior to that, we brought the ARA University in-house and made it a free member benefit to anyone who was an ARA member. And so I do have the privilege of serving on the board as the president, but let me not forget the rest of the people who are serving diligently. And that is, I've got Sandy Blaylock, Scott Robertson, Fran Reitman, Ian Yeager, Jared Hahn, and Mike Kunkel, who are all also in the trenches every day, as well as the EC members that participate, and Vince, who's the kind of our guardrails.
But I would like to point out that this is one of the great things about ARTI. It's not a committee. It's its own entity. It's a board. But this is one of the areas where ARA has really stepped out and asked some leadership from other areas to be a part of. As you mentioned, we've got Jarrett Hahn on the board of directors. We've got Mike Kunkel on the board of directors. So,
we're really trying to expand, the knowledge base and just take everything that's going on in the industry and try to better understand what's the best education we can offer and what are we missing. What am I siloed and not seeing that other people can bring to our attention for ARTI? Just to kind of clarify that a little bit. So ARTI, when it was founded as a 501c3, which is different than ARA. And one of our main driving factors, I know Slater alluded to it a little bit, was funding and how do we get monies involved. But ARTI exists for training and education, but also as a place to be a donations portal for a tax write-off for individuals so that they can donate there, have the tax write-off, then we can take that monies and we can produce more content to better their industry and education. Absolutely. So that does set us aside a little bit from ARA proper and other organizations or committees.
Yeah. So I know that last year, most people know that one of the projects that ARTI took on was collaborating with URG and PRP to produce the parts prep and shipping guidelines, right?
Yeah, and they did a great job with that. And so we were able to put that out there. And recently we have a collaboration with the Automotive Recyclers of Massachusetts to put out soon to be a fire prevention module.
Yes.
3 video series to kind of help us all deal with and mitigate any risk we could have for fires, which fires don't discriminate. I think we all know that. You could be a really top tier recycler or just entering the industry, and fires are real and they can affect everyone. So that's something we're working towards. And we've got some more stuff coming down the pipe that we're going to be producing for the industry shortly.
Yeah, you want to give us a teaser? What's going on in 2025? What kind of projects is ARTI discussing? Let's just say that.
Absolutely, yeah. Discussing is a great way of putting it, right? So you got a plan, and then you got the reality of what happens.
Right.
So one of the things that's been evolving in this industry so quickly is that we've got this trading network that continues to grow, and kind of just more people are getting on board with that. But when you trade parts and you move parts outside of your own truck, it's how do you do it the right way? What are the proper shipping guidelines, and how should you do parts prep? So we've collaborated with a number of with PRP, and we're hoping to work with the certification committee, make sure we're online with those, with our ARA certification, and with the goal of producing a part ship and prep guideline for moving product across the industry. I think this is going to be so instrumental in helping reduce claims and making sure that if we sell our product, the customer, be the receiving yard or the end customer, gets the right product the first time and doesn't have a bad experience with ROE. So
yeah, and I think it's great. I mean, if those of you watching are familiar with the parts prep videos that PRP keeps on their website, we're working with Jarrett and the PRP group as part of this, and we're using those as kind of the starting point, right, Jono? And then we're gonna take those and make them even better, and those will be part of the university.
Yeah, and I think that just clarifies so much of the expectations we have amongst other recyclers of what's right, what's wrong. Well, I've always done it this way. Well, why don't we make a baseline and make it a little bit more professionally done? I mean, PRP did a great job of getting these things put together and put on their website, but we're going to try and take it to the next level and really give you the details you need to make sure your product gets to where it needs to go in the right condition. And hopefully if it comes back to you, which parts come back, that they come back in the right condition so that you can resell it again.
Very good. All right. Well, I appreciate the update. Do you have anything else for us?
Yeah, I mean, just would say I was ARTI will have an article coming out about there will be an article coming out about ARTI in the near future. So stay tuned to look at that in the magazine and publication. And as we exist and we continue to move forward, if it's something you're interested in, or you've got some insight into some training that maybe we don't have, we'd love to hear what that is. I mean, the nice thing about ARTI is we exist for the consolidated entities and for the very small operators. And so we are out there so that you don't have to create your own entire training module. You don't have to go out there and produce this. We've got it. We want to collaborate with you guys to better the industry. So thank you for what you do, and just lean in when you need to.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, next up, we're going to bring up Amber Kendrick. She's the chairperson of our awareness committee. Amber, thank you so much for giving up your time to do this, and I'll give you the floor.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me, Vince. I'm Amber Kendrick. I'm the chair of the awareness committee. You might be asking yourself, what even is an awareness committee? Basically, we are responsible for promoting all things ARA. So we work with many different committees. You've already heard from the legislative committee, for example. So, they're responsible for planning the Hill Days that we have coming up, but we work with them on how to promote it, how to get it out there to the members and make it successful. We work with the conventions committee. We brainstorm on with the convention planning committee, how to develop the themes for conferences. You heard that this year in Birmingham, we have Game On, Winning Together, and yes, even like the dress up theme nights. If you have an idea for those in the future, if you have some vision of recycling carnival or something, who to pester to try to get that.
No cowboy boots this year, though, right?
That was a really popular theme. I think everyone had a lot of fun with that
one. We did, but I think we did it 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah, I think we should bring it back again someday, but not 3 years in a row, probably. Might be too much. So now you know who to pester if you have a great idea for a theme night at convention. We work hard to get the word out about all the different programs that ARA has to offer, whether that is the car certification or the conference or whatever. We're responsible for the outward face of ARA. We've been working really hard on a big project. You heard a little bit about at the beginning of this live stream, Eric talked about the website, and that is a whopper of a project. And you can see this is just a little screenshot of a mock-up that we've been working on. It's going to be a while before we can share the new website, but hopefully we'll have a lot more to share by the time we're all together in Birmingham, Alabama this October. And the awareness committee and our subcommittees will have worked on that like crazy by then. So yeah, we have a lot of fun getting to look at like what graphics ARA is using, you know, what videos we're putting out, what images we're using. Recently, one of our subcommittees has been going through all these images that ARA has collected over the years, going out to members' facilities and seeing like what images are we going to use on the new website, you know, compiling all those different pictures from the years, which is really
so
fun.
if we've ever been to your facility and taken pictures, you may end up on our website.
That's right. Yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanna share?
No, I don't think so. Oh, like and follow all the stuff you see from ARA and Facebook. The more that you like and follow our social media stuff, the more it gets shared to your friends. Don't be afraid to suggest that people like and follow. And when you see a program that ARA has, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for more information.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Amber. All right, moving along, we're going to bring up, I'm bringing on Jessica. Jessica is going to speak to us about the Interchange Committee. Emily Yancey is the chairperson, and Jessica is the staff person who assists her in the committee. But Emily had a commitment, she couldn't make it, so Jessica is standing in. And go ahead, Jessica, let us know what's going on with the Interchange Committee. You're muted.
Okay, better? Okay, great. So as Vince said, Emily Yancey of Yancey's Auto Parts in Perry, Missouri is the chair. She does a really great job. The committee has been in existence for a couple years. They meet monthly. They have about 20 or so members, and they really have been working hard to help recyclers make more sales outside of what is provided by the interchange. We are always looking for input from the membership. And in fact, one of the first things that the committee did when it was created was to form this dedicated ARA email address where you can send in your peer interchange ideas. So what does that mean? For example, have you or somebody on your team figured out which parts fit the Ford 250, 350 Super Duty? We're really looking for crowdsourced recycler to recycler part interchangeability information that doesn't necessarily meet the criteria for traditional interchange information. So we do have a dedicated email address. It's ARAPI, that stands for Peer Interchange, ARAPI@a-ara-a.org. Those emails go into a specific inbox. A subset of the committee reviews those, and they communicate with the inventory management systems who are open to incorporating that peer interchange information. So we're always looking for that type of input. One big accomplishment the committee did last year was to update the recycled parts guide. If you've ever taken a look at this, it is a massive spreadsheet. It has information on nearly 400 parts. It is searchable. Bookmark it on your staff's computers. It's a really great tool for your staff. It's on the ARA website under the resources tab. And the big project this year is to incorporate EV parts into that recycled parts guide. So the committee met this month. We're just starting to work on that. We have a lot of input on the committee from the inventory management providers. We have eBay, so they've all been really helpful in updating that recycled parts guide and helping the committee to start to identify the EV parts that are going to be part of that guide in the future. More recently, this went out in last week's ARA monthly newsletter, so hopefully everybody saw the announcement. But the committee talks a lot about fitment issues. We do have Garth from eBay as a member of the committee. Super helpful. As a result of some of the committee discussion over the past several months, eBay does have a dedicated email address and staff now to address fitment issues from the auto recycling industry. And that email address is myfitment@ebay.com. If you have any fitment concerns when listing your parts, please don't hesitate to contact that email address. And again, information was in last week's electronic newsletter about that. I think Natalie and Vince touched on the Interchange competition that we had last year at convention for the first time. We are booking that in for Birmingham. So if you watched it and you think you might want to enter the contest, you have the rest of the year until October to start training, preparing. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you to JC for hosting and sponsoring that, but we are looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, JC makes quite a host, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. Well, thank you very much. I think
Sure.
initially I put up the eBay, but I misspelled it, so I corrected it. This is the correct email address. If you have fitment concerns, you can email them that. Now, Jessica, is there any particular information that they want? Like, what does that email look like? What should it look like to help eBay?
So it should not just be such and such part doesn't fit. They really want, give a good description, pictures, the Hollander number, really some details that so that this can be productive. It's not, positive, constructive feedback is what we're looking for.
Very good. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. So, you could say, you might say, some may say that I saved the best for last, but that is purely up to the audience to determine. But I'm bringing up Shannon Nordstrom, who's the chairperson of our certification committee. And Shannon, go ahead and give us an update of what's going on with certification.
Well, thank you, Vince. This is a great format. I'm doing this for the first time. I feel like I'm on the Under the Hood show when I jump on here now. I guess, but that's tomorrow.
That's high praise.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. But no, the certification committee has really been active with a lot of different things. We are really happy to have Sue Shawls in with us as our consultant for ARA. Sue gives a down-to-earth, really bare bones ways of looking at challenging environmental problems, safety problems, things that every auto recycler deals with every day. And so that is what the certification committee is all about. He's trying to put together a program that helps people in their business be prepared for things that come up. As we do this live stream right now, I have no details, but I got an email from one of my salespeople here at Nordstrom's that said that there is, as he put it, another fire in the industry. And knowing no details, we don't know anything about it. But over the weekend, there was a fire at a shredder, and suspicion is that may have been something related to a lithium battery of some sort. Now, let's not make any assumptions about vehicle, car, tool, scooter. I don't know any of that, but the suspicion is that. And so we continue to really explore and work on the high voltage vehicle protocol that is part of and available to certified auto recyclers. And a lot of that information is available to everyone on the front page at aracertification.com. And also, if it seems like I'm giving a sales pitch, there's a video on ARA University, and I can't remember where else we have it posted, where past President Nick Dario and his son Greg Dario talk about being surprise audited by about every agency that you can imagine in one day or at one time. And because of the certification and because of the work with the auditing company that they use, the environmental company that they use, they were extremely prepared, and it turned into a public service announcement for certification and for how good of a job that Dario's does, more so than a problem for them that it could have been had they not been ready. So our goal with the certification committee and the program, with the great active participants that we have, they get together on the second Tuesday of the month at 9 o'clock Central, is to be able to be always looking for the different standards, the different challenges, and down-to-earth best management practices that can be used. Currently, we have 248 people that have got electronic records in 2024. We'd love to see that be much more than that. You know, the Automotive Recyclers Association is always tapping around 1,000 people in their membership. You throw in the United Recyclers Group and Team PRP, that's just the people that have signed up for things. There's a lot of people that may be, you know, eventually picking up this podcast, this stream, that aren't involved in any of those things that probably have really great facilities. We'd love to have you get involved, not just in ARA, but also in the certification committee or certification process. You can get on the committee too, but the certification process. But currently we've got 235 certified members. 173 of them have went through the recall certification, so they're able to be exclusively people that can sell airbags on eBay. We have another 158 that are involved in the Gold Seal program, and just 73 that are involved in the high voltage vehicle certification. And we want to see that number grow, because that is something that is very advantageous for the Government Affairs Committee and our advocacy work, to have those certified recyclers available, and be able to know that there's people out there that have trained members, that they're trained employees at their facility, and the facility set up in such a way to handle those vehicles. So we're active with those things, with the high voltage vehicles, the recall processes, with the affiliate chapters. Natalie was just on from Canada. We're going to go visit her coming up here at the end of March, being up there for the show. And Canada, we've adapted the certification program to work the electronic record for them also. We're interested in talking to our friends from Australia, possibly of setting something up and going down under with the program and collaborating. And so we're very excited about the momentum the program has. We're very excited about the work that the committee does. I've chaired it for 20 plus years, so it's a 20-year overnight success.
Yeah.
We're very excited about that. One of the other things that's really hot on the radar right now is a cooperative effort with the United Recyclers Group and the Automotive Recyclers Association. We agreed in principle before the URG PRP show last year in Kansas City, and we're able to announce that at Kansas City. And we're actively working on the final frameworks to be able to put together a quality assurance program that will step in from ARA's side as kind of a gold seal program on steroids. And from the URG side, they'll take their URG 9000 program. We're going to merge all those thought processes together for one quality assurance program in the industry that is mutually created and mutually promoted by both great organizations that have so much to offer our recycling community. And that's really, really exciting for us. And so we're going to continue to push forward with that. Vince, you've been helping me with that. And Christy from URG has just been excellent to cooperate with. And right now we're just helping the legal wrangling get leveled out. If you go to certification, aracertification.com, you're going to be able to see a lot of information, continue to grow that information. We're looking forward to having that in a new format with the new website that the team from the Awareness Committee is working on with you. And our auditor list continues to grow, because this last year was a year where you had to have an auditor come on site. And we found new auditors around the country that can help work with the electronic record keeping system and help members be up to date. So we're really excited about what's going on with the certification committee. And we would be happy to have you join us anytime you'd like. And if you've got input, please offer it up. We're eager to take that input and turn it into action.
Yeah, I was talking with Sue, and I know you talk with Sue quite often. She's an incredible resource, not just to the certification committee, but to ARA and as a whole. And she's incredibly optimistic about the potential to increase the number of recyclers that become certified. She's very excited. Now, we do have a question that came in, and Chapin is actually has a connection with ARA. So Chapin works with ARS up in Rhode Island. He's heading up the SHIFT program. Now, SHIFT is a program that was designed in collaboration with, I'm saying all this, Shannon, to give you time to see his question, and then I'll come back to you. So SHIFT was a program that was designed with ARS, by ARS, to benefit ARTI. So it's basically a car donation program that is very environmentally focused, and it seeks to capture that section of the country that wants to donate their cars and wants to do it in the most environmentally sound way. And so Chapin was hired by ARS to head that up. And I would tell you, anybody that's watching this, if you are at all interested in another way to get cars and to benefit ARTI in order to fund the training material that we like to make, reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with Chapin, and he'll get you set up. So Shannon, you want to look at Chapin's question and give us an answer?
I do. I've studied Chapin's question, and it's a riddle that we've been trying to solve for a lot of years, and that's why we're excited about the current momentum that we have. And the current momentum that we have came from two sources, I feel. One was a recent cooperation with eBay Motors, that if you're going to be able to be one of the people to get to sell airbags on eBay Motors and safety SRS related parts, you have to be part of the recall program of certification. That brought a lot of new people to the table that were very, very interested in this. Many of them stuck with the program, and some of them shook out. We had, I think, 10 people that did not continue because they realized that they probably weren't doing the best management practices when it came time for a physical on-site audit that's necessary to keep your standing. The other thing that has brought this, I do believe that the stories that come out of people that have had a fire, stories that come out that have had bureaucratic visits from EPA, from OSHA, from different things, and we can tell the story of how we've had those people prepared. Doesn't make you foolproof or fine proof or citation proof or not getting written up proof, but it does have you in a very, very good position, and I think that has helped. We saw an uptick of people that are very interested in what can I do so I don't get caught in a position that is compromising to my business by not having thought through these different stages of certification that basically walk your business through things you should be looking at: safety, environmental, employee relations, curbside appeal, to make your business as good as it can be. And I think that there's a lot of businesses out there that are very, very good that would qualify for certification in a heartbeat. And they do take the approach of, I don't need it because I already know I'm doing those things good. Why do I need another thing that I have to do? I would not let that be a deterrent, because I do feel that we are going to continue to bring the value added services. The SHIFT program is one of them. If you're in the certification program, you have first opportunity in your market to get a vehicle that's donated and basically buy it at a fraction of curb weight. And that is a very good proposition for some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's something to look at. But we're going to continue to look for those value-added propositions for our members, the ones that are just hardcore saying, I got to have return on investment, I got to get something back. I think that's a shallow view of certification. And I also would like to get a few more people involved in just joining the movement to be able to say that we've got a group of people that we can use and continue to use for advocacy to find those new opportunities.
Yeah. You know, when Shannon, when you talk about return on investment for certification, and Chapin brings up the concern about cost. Look, certification costs a few $100, and then you obviously on an audit year, when it's not a self-audit year, there's an additional expense having an auditor come in. That's an expense you should be considering anyway, regardless, to make sure that you're doing things properly. But I'll tell you, there's two types of ROI with certification, and we've got great testimony on both. Again, I'll reference this video that Shannon talks about. You can watch how the ROI impacted Dario Auto and Truck when they got visited, and they could not say enough about how just being certified helped change the tone and the temperature in the room right? They just they actually had a good visit with their regulators. And then the other one was, I was recently speaking with one of our members who went through certification and began selling airbags on eBay. And he reaches out to me and he goes, yeah, we sold about $10,000 in a very short period of time, like within a few weeks, of just airbags, right? So if you're looking for ROI and you want to put in the work to work your eBay store as best as it can, there's a lot of resources out there in the industry to help you do that. But the very first step, the first stop, is going to be ARA's certification program.
Very much so, and I think it's important to just get as many people involved as we can. And I think when you talk about expense, if your business is truly 100% in good condition from the ground up through the stages of certification, your expenses, like you said, are very minimal.
Yeah.
They're normal expenses. But you could have some expense that comes on when you go through the program and you find out there's something you're not in compliance with, and you have some work to do to get in compliance. But guess what? You're gonna be happy you got the tip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Shannon, thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody in the group for taking time today to provide these updates. And I hope you guys who are watching have found this beneficial. In the future, you can look to, you'll be seeing more of this. Now, whether it's in this format or we choose to do it in more of a short form format, one of the things we want to do is make sure we're providing information and transparency to the industry as to what your ARA is doing for you day in and day out. So I want to thank you for watching, and feel free to reach out to us anytime you want with questions or comments. We welcome the feedback, and we appreciate your membership. For all those who are members, if you're interested in membership, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Everybody have a great day.